I am so excited and grateful that you are here. Brielle, my daughter, is a great example of self-love. Every night during our nightly routine of love, I end with saying, I love you always, forever, and no matter what. She mostly would respond with words similar to these. I love you to eternity, followed by everyone else she loves. I love my sisters to eternity. I love Daddy and Zane to eternity and my whole entire family, or some combination therein, sometimes including friends and the whole stadium, meaning Earth, the whole Earth. One night she started saying, and I love myself. She said, I love myself. This really perked my ears and made me smile from ear to ear. Wow, I'm so impressed she said that out loud. I love learning from her. I didn't teach her that. It was a natural feeling she had about herself. Let's be honest. Loving yourself can feel like trying to hug a cactus. It's prickly, awkward, and sometimes downright painful. In a world full of Instagram perfection and endless comparison traps, self-love often gets shoved to the bottom of our to-do list. Right after Learn to Juggle and watch that documentary everyone's talking about. But here's the kicker. Loving yourself isn't some fluffy feel-good idea. It's backed by science, faith, and a sprinkle of humor. Let's dive into why self-love is a secret sauce you didn't know you needed. Did you know your brain actually loves it when you love yourself? A study published in Social Cognitive and Affective Neuroscience showed that practicing self-compassion and love activates the brain's reward system, releasing a flood of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. Think of it like giving your brain a warm, fuzzy hug. On the flip side, constant self-criticism triggers your brain's threat response, leaving you in a perpetual state of fight or flight. Translation: being mean to yourself literally stresses you out. So isn't it time to give your brain a break and sprinkle a little self-kindness into your day? When you love yourself, magical things happen. I learned what was holding me back from loving myself firsthand through lessons from my horse herd. We teach about it in our Hearts and Horses seminar. We have one coming up this Wednesday, so hop on. You start setting better boundaries, saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that light you up. Your confidence grows, your relationships improve, and you stop apologizing for existing. Even your health gets a boost. Studies show that giving yourself some love lowers stress, improves immune function, and even helps you sleep better. Who knew self-love could be the ultimate multitasker? In Genesis, let me grab my scriptures. In Genesis, in the King James Version of the Bible, chapter 1, verse 27, it says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. So what does that mean in English? That God created you. God created me after his own image. So what are some characteristics of God? Patient, loving, just, merciful, powerful, faithful, forgiving, strong, mighty, righteous, and there isn't anything that God can't accomplish, are just a few from the scriptures. He reinforces how amazing you are in Ephesians 2, verse 10, where he says that you are his masterpiece, created to do good works. You are a child of God. After a fresh study in the Old Testament in 2022, I felt inspired to tell my kids each day that they are a son or daughter of God. I may have missed a couple days, but this is part of our morning love routine. As I prepared this script, I realized that I do spend a lot of time telling them that I do need to be better at telling myself every day that I am a daughter of God. So, ready to dive into self-love, but not sure where to start? Here are a few ideas to get the ball rolling. Write a love letter to yourself. This might feel awkward, but trust me, it works. List 5 things you love about yourself. Can't think of anything? Start small. Maybe you're great at making avocado toast or keeping houseplants alive. I learned this from an author workshop I did a few years ago with Melanie Warner. Write down what you love about yourself. Number 2, the mirror challenge. I started this with Brielle shortly after my inspiration in 2022 to tell her she is a daughter of God. I told her in the mirror, and I should do the same with Zane, but he's pretty big, and I shouldn't let that be one of my excuses. But anyway, she looks at herself as I tell her she is a daughter of God and a few other things. She just lights up. So look into a mirror and say, I love you. You're doing great. And bonus points, or maybe just a way to get through it. If you use a funny voice, sure, it might feel silly, but it's also oddly empowering. And if anyone walks in on you, you just tell them you're practicing for a comedy routine. All joking aside. But number 3, add to your morning routine. Tell yourself, I love me and I'm grateful to be me. Adding a dose of gratitude expression in there brings the glue, which we talked about yesterday. I am a child of God. I am ... whatever you fill in the blank. Loving yourself isn't a luxury. It's a necessity to become your best self. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and care you'd offer a friend. So the next time you're tempted to beat yourself up over a mistake or compare yourself to someone else, remember this: you're human, just like everyone. None of us are perfect, and that's enough. You were created after God, in the image of God. Now go forth, practice self-love, and maybe even hug that cactus. You might just find it softer than you thought, and over time you'll get so used to it, you won't be able to stop. Remember, knowledge is half the battle, and the key to winning the battle is taking action. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your new mirror affirmation in the community comments, or if that's a little uncomfortable and feels a little too vulnerable right now, you can just say, I did it, to keep it more personal. I'd love to hear from you. We'll look forward to tomorrow.